before our eyes. Oh. Dakota Kai.
What up, y'all? This your boy Ace here, and welcome to Afternoons Delight. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Let me say this, man. So I reviewed the match in the last video, how the match went. So if y'all want to watch that video, go back to the last video. I'm gonna have a link to it on the end screen as well, so y'all could watch my review of the recap of the match. Not much to talk about there with the match per se, but it was all about this turn with Dakota Kai, which we're going to talk about right now. I do want to congratulate most of the WWE fans for predicting correctly that Dakota Kai was going to turn on Bayley. Did not pull the wool over y'all ass, man. And I think it had a lot to do because of Dakota Kai's history. She has been known to be turning on people, like she turned on Tegan Nox and Raquel down at NXT. So she has a history of this shit, right? And I even said last year, I always felt like Dakota Kai was going to either take the group away from Bayley, they were going to kick out Iyo Sky first, and then Dakota Kai was going to eventually take over the group. Because I just felt like that was her history. They was going to play the history. Now, let me say this. So she turns on Bayley. So Bayley was going for the hot tag. It kind of reminded me of when Tatum Paxley turned on, who was that, Danny Palmer on NXT last year on Level Up. And that's, that took her heel turn to another level after she did that. And, she kind of pulled herself away. They did the same thing here with the hot tag. So Bayley starts to go after Dakota Kai, but then the Kabuki Warriors jumped her, and then they eventually won the match, and they jumped her again and humiliated her. Basically humiliated Bayley, right? And I'll say this again. Iyo Sky is definitely losing that title to Bayley at Mania. That should be no surprise there when that happens. Now, Dakota Kai turning on Bayley. Let me say this. What was surprising about it, the turn itself wasn't surprising. It's how early they did it. They did this extremely early. I didn't think they was going to do it this early. Actually, I thought they might wait till after WrestleMania after Bayley becomes champion. I just thought they would have Dakota Kai with Bayley for a little longer. And I think that might have been the right route instead of being with the Kabuki Warriors this fast. And Damage Control. So, I don't know. But since they were probably going to do it anyways, I don't think you waste time with it, though, at the same time. So, that's also the thing that I see with it. But let me say this. To me, this says something about Dakota Kai, right? Dakota Kai is the biggest backstabber in the game. You know how Ric Flair is the biggest, the dirtiest player in the game? She the biggest backstabber in the game, bro. Don't trust Dakota Kai ever. It's like Stone Cold Steve Austin said, don't trust anybody, right? Don't trust Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai, this was genius, though. Because in my opinion, there's something bigger to this whole thing. And I kind of predicted this early, though, right? So if y'all been on my channel since last year, y'all might have heard me talking about this. I know I talked about it with John Drake. I think I talked about it with either Kawhi BSC Games. We talked about it last year about what I think Damage Control was going to turn into. And it was definitely starting to look like at one point that Bayley and maybe even Iyo Sky were going to get kicked out. Especially when Iyo Sky got the Money in the Bank. I felt like Bayley was going to turn on her. But then I ultimately always felt like Dakota Kai would be the last one standing from Damage Control because she was going to take the group. And now that Dakota Kai is wrestling again, right? Which is, I think, cause of the reason why they did this here is that she's wrestling now. I don't even know. We could have a Bayley versus Dakota Kai match before WrestleMania. I don't know. But something tells me there's another backdoor here. Okay. And I think the victims are the Kabuki Warriors. It might be 3 of them, But they better watch out for Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai is one of those people. You sleep with one of your eyes open, bro. Because if I'm the Kabuki Warriors right now, I'm making sure I'm 10 steps ahead of Dakota Kai. You make sure you're not going to be a victim of Dakota Kai. Even though y'all, it's 3 of y'all, make sure you're not a victim of Dakota Kai. Because Dakota Kai might do something where she gets one of the girls to turn on the other two, right? I mean, yeah, one of the girls, let's say it's Iyo, right? Let's say Iyo is the one that Dakota Kai want to take out. She keeps Asuka and she keeps Kairi. But she boosts out Iyo, right? That could happen. And she starts to break them down one by one. You know? One by one for the real team that she wants. This is how I will set this up. So, let's say, listen to me, y'all. Let's say, all right. So, for those of y'all that pay attention to NXT, I still think there's a chance for Roxanne Perez to turn heel. Now, I don't know what the plans are for Stand and Deliver, but I will run back Roxanne Perez and Lyra Valkyria Stand and Deliver. At some point, I will make Roxanne a heel. I will have her get the title. And it will be courtesy of maybe Tatum Paxley turning on Lyra Valkyria. Right? Because they've been kind of hitting that, you know, Lyra hasn't been liking Tatum Paxley too much, right? So she wants to get her off her back. That angers Tatum Paxley. It's sort of like R-Truth realizing like he not gonna be a part of Judgment Day, right? So with Tatum Paxley being crazy like that, she realizes like Tatum Paxley wants nothing to do with her. She stopped becoming her fan. She wrecks the hell out of Lyra Valkyria, right? And then something sparks like and Roxanne to like team with her. And then you carry that, right? Like you carry that the rest of the year. And then at some point when they go to the main roster, Dakota Kai recruits Roxanne Perez and Tatum Paxley to be on the new Damage Control. And she just starts taking them out one by one, right? Like Dakota Kai, her whole thing should be taking out the Kabuki Warriors one by one. All three of them. All three of them one by one. Until she gets all of them out of the group. And then she gets the girls that she really wants to align with, which would be Roxanne Perez and Tatum Paxley. And they will form a new Damage Control sometime next year. I think you roll with it like that. Because I think the backdoor is that Dakota Kai wants to take over this group completely. And she wants to get everybody that's in there right now on up out of there. I think that's the play. I really do. I think that's the play from Dakota Kai. Because the Kabuki Warriors, it's going to turn into the Kabuki Warriors not needing to trust Dakota Kai. And then that's how you could make Roxanne Perez turn back into a babyface, because in the future, she knows that Dakota Kai is going to turn on her. And so now Roxanne Perez becomes a face again, you know, on the main roster. And she gets out of Damage Control. And then y'all can end the Damage Control story like that. Because Tatum Paxley could smarten up too. Either Tatum Paxley smartens up, or they just take everything away from Dakota. You know. I think that'd be good. I haven't really thought about how they could do that part yet. I'll have to think about that a little bit more. But I think they should do that backdoor though. There should be another backdoor in there for Dakota Kai. Because like I said, I don't think Dakota Kai's gonna keep the Kabuki Warriors around, you know, forever. She'll keep them around long enough. But I think the ultimate goal for her is to get this championship, right? And she gonna use whoever she gotta use to get it. You know what I mean? I think it's gonna be an interesting play, bro. But do I think they did this too soon with Bayley? I think they did. I think they could have drawn it out and allowed Dakota Kai to be a babyface for a little bit with Bayley while she got the championship and then turn on her. I think they should have went that route. But I think one of the reasons why they did it, because they didn't want to waste any time with this whole storyline. And then I think if they do have that backdoor set up, they want to start it now, you know, so that we can start reading some signs that maybe Dakota Kai gonna turn on them, you know. So it's gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be interesting to see the way they play this out, bro. But I want to thank y'all for always watching my Dakota Kai Bayley Kabuki Warriors / Damage Control videos, man. I really appreciate y'all, the love and support, man. So go on ahead and give me y'all thoughts on this whole thing, bro. I definitely want to hear y'all thoughts on this, man. And I'm going to catch y'all later, bro. Give this video a like, share, subscribe. Thank y'all for watching. After News to Light.